Okay. Welcome, everybody. Another team talk, coming out randomly now. Hopefully, we can get a couple more in before Nats because it's uh, it's coming right around the corner. And it's team talk number 16. We're going to be talking about the ban list. I know we didn't get through all the reveals, but, the ban list is a little more important right now because we have our whole new meta coming around for Nats come next week now, right? I was told that the set's coming. It's December next week, which makes no sense. I don't understand this. But yellow U7 Goku. I think that'll be a topic for another time when we talk about these yellow reveals, which they'll be out by that time because that deck needs a whole talk for itself because it's you're gonna see a lot of it. Speaking of yellow, though, we had a ban to one of Yellow's favorite leaders for the whole life of the game, apparently. I know it sneaks in every once in a while. It wasn't consistently shown the entire time, but rest in peace, good old Yellow Frieza, huh? So, how's everyone feeling about that? I've played Frank enough that, I wish that thing was dead years ago, but, you know, a yellow deck that restands energy and can play offensively and defensively however it likes. I'm kind of glad it got finally put out of its misery, or our misery actually. It was having a blast.
Don't allow me. I have things to say. I haven't been on this channel in a while, but I got things to say about this leader, and it's banning.
Spit.
Is that the go ahead? That the go ahead? Okay.
Spit that fire. This is I was
like you already do that, yeah.
I was waiting. I heard the commandments getting written there with the the uptake there.
Got my chisel ready, man.
Yeah.
Chisel ready. So we are over 20 sets in Dragon Ball Super, the card game, and I have always felt strongly about color identity, and I've also felt strongly that the only times things get really, really out of pocket is if they overtune a card and what it does in its color, or when they allow one color to have access to traits that another color should normally be the home for. And Frieza is right up there with that second part. Frieza is a very blue leader in a very different kind of color. And this automatically, every time that you had the right Frieza's army cards, or the yellow had a small enough shell to put around the Frieza's army core, you've had a yellow deck that had access to more resources than a yellow deck should have access to. And it is time and time again proven to be a valid point. And across the age of, I guess, the lifespan of a card game, when you have a staple card like a leaders in our game that cannot be power crept simply because they are too mechanically sound, you have to address it in one way or another. You can't make a better Frieza that'll just creep it out of the game. That would be broken. So you have to either just accept that a set one leader is going to be better than set 32 yellow leaders, or you have to get it out of the game. That's just the only options when it comes to that. So for me, it's not surprising they got banned. It's surprising that it took this long, because every now and then it would just like I said, you just get the right summation of yellow cards, and Frieza would just be topping tournaments.
No.
Then it'd have its time to die down a little bit, and then it just come back. So this doesn't really surprise me. I think it did a little bit too much that it wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree.
It was it had, like you're right. It's a blue leader that's yellow, so it has access to the yellow card pool, which can be a little ridiculous. And I don't know. It's just how before we go on to more Frieza, how would we feel if it returned the exact same leader but blue?
Well,
there's a lot less blue Frieza army cards.
yeah, it would need obviously make a whole archetype.
Yeah, it need its own.
I think with blue it's something with me. Like blue used to have this identity where you would. I mean, this is years ago probably, but your cards weren't good until you paid 5 mana on them at least. But now it's just they have access to all the 1-drops, 2-drops that every other color has. So blue in itself is or free. Yeah, there you go.
Free, they're for free. That's this deck. They're all free.
Yeah, but it's just something that when blue used to need all that energy, then it was fine. But you got to be careful with blue for sure. So I do
I
think
think
that
Blizz
we
the Blue would be
need a
broken.
popular Frieza leader in the meta. Like that's definitely kind of always been a staple of this game, and there's people that love Frieza.
Oh yeah, that's
I
one of
I
the
think
whole reasons why. Oh, sorry.
a reboot of him could be possible too. We were talking about this the other day. Like if it was just like go down to 6 life, untap 1 maybe on the backside, maybe not draw. I don't know, something like that. But like
What
it
happened the
was
last
balanced.
time Frieza got rebooted?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, stop it!
Well,
No, we're still
that
waiting for
is
Zenkai
exactly what.
series.
Turn
If
zero
you make his
counterplays?
awakening easier,
Anybody?
yeah.
No, we're
I
still waiting
mean,
for Zenkai
yeah.
series. Remove a Z energy, reduce specified cost of extra card by one. Like, yeah, look, Zenkai series reboot Mecha Frieza coming on the way. But no, I actually agree with you with what you said. Like, there needs to be a Frieza. There always needs to be a good Frieza in here.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like that character fantasy, I think being a competitive game like Dragon Ball Super is, character fantasy has been one of the things that's lacking because not every character is good. You can look at your favorite character, call off Adult Gohan, and just know that you will be blessed if you ever see a 1.5 tier or higher from this leader. Whereas, you know, if you like Gogeta or Vegito, it's just a matter of time. So it's like Frieza is one of those like favorite characters, and that was nice that you always had a go-to Frieza that was always relevant. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know, to answer your first question. I don't know how we would feel if it was rebooted in Blue, because Blue's definitely changed. I feel like Bandai keeps having balance issues where they need to kind of reestablish what a color does, or sometimes they have to break what a color's supposed to do just to make it good. Because just like you were stating, Blue was only good with its cards once you were tapping 5 for them, and the only reason you had to do that was because Blue tapping out was not any other color tapping out. Like you could tap out a blue deck and they could take a life and use another card and then be up to 3 open energy. And you're like, did you really tap out though? So like it made sense that they can't have good 3-drops. Like, it's busted. But now everything's just coming out for free. I don't know. I don't know how I'd be feeling if Golden Frieza got rebooted in another color. It just depends on the setup.
Because think about it, there's already enough yellow Frieza army stuff. Now it just becomes the best blue yellow deck in the game. If it had like the same abilities, you just be like, all right, I'm gonna just play these blue yellow cards. Let me just arrive at all these nasty cards and play these other nasty cards, these Gogeta cards, and all this other stuff. Because like
run the
imagine
Gogeta
now,
engine.
Yeah,
if you run the
there's already a
Gogeta
color
engine
that's
and have-
breaking their identity right now
Yeah.
in Blue. So
yeah, and then you have access to D Magic in like imagine playing like nothing changed with your Golden Frieza list other than now you have D Magics in the deck, and just think about how broken that is.
Blue yellow Frieza's Monkey Zoo. That's actually pretty intense. A Frieza Gogeta deck? Yeah, no, you're right. That sent shivers down my spine.
It was a good theory craft there, horrifying theory craft, but yeah, because you think about like something where it's untapping too, and that was like the opposite. Like you know, you had Soul Striker doing that. The Soul Striker, you got the reboot that got hit. Now you don't really see that deck anymore. Frieza, yeah, even if you were to hit it, what way would you hit it besides banning it? Like I don't know.
Frieza army only, easy. Run Frieza army. You cannot run any battle cards that are not Frieza army. You still maintain the Gohan Unison. Yeah, make it racist. It's just like that green Frieza
like
card.
green one,
Yeah.
The prejudice
Hear me out.
strong. Yeah.
Reduce. Hear me out. Fuse Mecha Frieza with this Frieza. Once per turn, you can KO a yellow Frieza's army to reduce the specified yellow cost of a card by like 1 or something. That way you don't have, it doesn't untap, so it doesn't really extend a turn. It allows you to use a bigger card maybe, but you're not tapping out and then untapping. You're more or less just reducing the cost of a card, accelerating the curve, which is something that traditional yellow probably wouldn't mind, playing a card a little earlier.
To be fair, that's not a bad idea, because theoretically you're kind of just putting an energy off to the next turn or something. I know with Icarus, whatever, that's technically a free energy coming that's floating the specified cost, but yeah, that is a kind of cool concept that I think is a much more toned down version of, you know, untapping 2, playing 3 Gohan Unisons in 1 turn, going swinging 18 times. Your leader's got a 15k buff on it now. Like
the deck's stupid. I'd say good.
Only 2 times. Come on, Lucas.
2 times. You can do it 3 times. You have to already have the Unison out though.
Right.
I've done it. It's stupid. I played the deck
It's
once
in
and
my
I'm just like, this feels disgusting. Now I know why Frank loves it.
Bro, as a jerk, I literally played it today for the Game 3 locals this week because Banlist is next week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
Just went undefeated. I didn't even sideboard once. It was like, yeah, all right, I'm just gonna smoke you, smoke me, smoke you. Like you can't do anything about it. I even misplayed, bro. My one opponent, he played the Android 21Z card. I'm like, oh, cold bloodlust that. Then next turn he plays Golden Cooler. I'm like, oh no, I wasted my bloodlust, and I still won. I should have lost. The deck's dumb.
Talked about it, man. I said, toxic. You know, like I just
Like, think about that. I should have lost. The deck is not fair. Like, no. Good
Yep.
riddance.
Yep. Well, yeah, it'll be missed, but yeah, it's time to move on. That's fine.
Well, who's taking away the next card on the ban list?
What was the next one?
What's
Was it like the hit?
Yeah.
The random hit card that they
Yeah, the
banned
hit
that nobody
card
used in Gogeta?
that everyone talked about that it was going to be abused in Gogeta, and I haven't seen it once. Not a single
I mean,
time.
everyone was like, oh, Gogeta's gonna be the most OP thing. The only person who won a regional with Gogeta was Miguel. That's it. Nobody won a regional with Gogeta other than Miguel. Like, what?
Yeah,
And he didn't run it.
Well, it is still pretty OP, but
absolutely feel like we do sit in a card game where people do, for the most part, value consistency. Like even our combo glass cannon decks are consistent combo glass cannon decks. So like, I don't know. I haven't test played enough to know the validity of hit. But if the developers were like in a island and they were playing against each other and some dude just like got styled on by hit multiple times in a row, he probably just said, nope, put it on the ban list. I'm tired of this. I don't like this. So, I mean, it might have just been a salty run back call, to be honest, but it does seem kind of odd because I haven't seen that card in any lists that have been floating around on Facebook or anything.
I saw that card once when someone was complaining about it right before Gogeta came out, and I never saw that card again. I saw a picture of it, and that was it. That was it.
Miguel, we're talking about hit. Any thoughts on the hit ban?
Fucking useless.
Yeah.
That was like the most
Amen.
random ban ever. But
It was very thematic. It was like TOP. Jiren no longer let hit have any more chances to even try to be relevant in the TOP. He got caught once. He said, nope, shot him out. Get game. GG, sir. Same thing here.
yeah, I don't know about that one. That was like they hit the wrong card. Bergamo should have been the one to get hit. No Gogeta player was using hit. They still wanted to hit it, so
It got hit.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the
hit got
name.
hit.
Yeah. It's right
And then
there.
it was the next ban was the Android 16. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. This
I-
is absolutely hilarious to me. I don't know who wants to start this one off.
You got
I
it.
played against Gohan today in the nerfed version.
Oh yeah, how was that? Suck
Well,
with
I went first playing blue Gohan, so I had the advantage. I didn't even see a skillless
did I
card
roll?
till turn 3. So, and it still was fine. Did I use Beast? I don't think I used Beast, but maybe I did.
Mhm.
I don't know. But yeah, losing that piece to awaken early, because what's the Z? This is Z leader 2Z energy?
Yeah, it's 2 energy.
2
Two.
oh
Two
my
energy and 3
god.
Z.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
2
yeah.
energy and 3 Z.
Oh, 3. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, good luck going into the Z leader. You're not
Bursting
going into
Rage
fucking
is
Z
the
leader.
SER of choice now.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no way.
that's
Like-
the biggest nerf is you know what secret rare they're gonna be on.
Well,
you
not
know.
even that, because the secret rare that he was using was actually still the like Angel Q one, which did like almost save his
yeah.
life when I was going
Still
in for a
good,
game.
very
Which
good
I
SER.
think,
Right.
honestly, the Z
But without
leader's
the
good.
Z leader,
whatever.
that one's not. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting your burn. Like you're not doing that free combo bullshit. But
Yeah.
like the leader is still a consistent leader without the Z leader, right? You lose consistency once you go to the Z leader, which you get your extra 1K and your burn whatever, which is nice, but I don't think that part, like you just avoid the Z leader at this point. I think like you keep one in just for a just in case shotgun. You can't swing with battle cards anymore. There's your double strike swing in. Like you paid 2 energy for it, whatever, but I don't know. If it's 2 energy and 3 Z, it does in any facet does not seem worth it at all. Like you just play the deck as, it's Gohan, it's 15k, you get to get your combo effect and have a good day. Like I don't know.
Definitely. So it's kind of weird. On a serious note, yes, you no longer easy mode into it. It's a it's a really, really good Z leader, but now you actually have to pay its cost. And you know how we feel as Dragon Ball players about actually having to pay for stuff. It sucks. So that just really does kind of blow. I mean, you can put it in there. You do get to free up a Z and Z like deck slot. You do get to free up that, and a lot of people will look over that because that matters more than a lot of players are willing to give credit for. I just find the banning of it hilarious because I'm not trying to hate too terribly on the dev team, but there are just certain moves that a company can make that just shows that you do not test your own cards. Like y'all built the deck, y'all made 16 because at some point, I guess one of you guys thought, wow, for some reason, instead of lowering the cost of the Z leader, we need to make an entirely different card that helps you cheat it out because it's too fat and I don't like having to pay for it. But it only took like 4 games or less for the average player to be like, yeah, this is snapped. Like, so you're saying I pay one? I pay one and I play Android 16, and no matter what you do, I Z Awaken? Yeah, you mean like you play a card, I Z Awaken. You swing, I Z Awaken. I sneeze, I Z Awaken. Easy.
You don't do anything.
Like, yeah, like I pass turn. Got you. Actually, no. You see, I still Z Awaken. Wow, that's crazy. So it's like Bandai built a card to do one thing, and then it took them an entire format and change to be like, wow. Wow. Did you see this coming? No, bro. No, I didn't see it coming, Takeshi. I'm sorry. We gotta ban it. Like that's a lack of foresight, but also a lack of testing. And it in a game like ours, it's very, very rough to see that sort of thing happen because our game is one of the most competitive games on the market in terms of mechanics. It's Bandai's most like either first or tied for first mechanically intensive game. There's no way that these type of things can just happen and not look horrendous on the company. But yeah.
I think it's I think it's a bad ban because if you just compare with like what else are the top dogs in the meta, I mean this was Green's best fighter, like, and you hit it twice in the same ban list and you didn't touch the other 2 like top dogs, or 3 if you want to count. Yeah, I mean it's just like
It's still a stupid card, though.
the timing of it's bad, but I like it. Obviously, I mean Gohan was a little bit too powerful, obviously, but it just kind of sucks that they.
I don't think so.
I feel like yeah, well, yeah.
It's
I mean,
Go
compared
Bro's
to
time now.
yeah, Go Bros, yeah, for sure is probably one of the best green decks. I'm biased on that one, but
I agree with that.
I mean, how
It was a
many
good green deck? Like it was just a deck that was so consistent. Like that's really
Yeah.
all it is. I think. I don't think it was overpowered or anything. I think it was very strong, especially now coming into next set. I think. I don't think it would be as crazy as a monster like into set 23. So, I
we
don't
would
know.
like have a 4-deck meta, I think, and I think that would have been
It
healthy.
better. Would have been good because green had
Yeah.
like every color essentially. Like yellow had.
Or yeah, I guess I'm sorry, I'm excluding red in my head for a second there.
Yeah,
like,
but every color is a good
Pan,
deck.
Pan
Like
and the new
Pan
one
and
is,
red, and like Gohan's kind of good. Yellow has
exactly.
Seven, green has
Yeah.
Gohan, black Meki, and blue Gogeta. Like every
They would
color had
all
a strong
had
deck.
their exactly, and they're all
So I think,
overtuned. Yeah.
yeah, I think I agree.
if you look, like most of the people in here have been playing Dragon Ball Super for at least half of its lifespan, if not more. This green hit is just classic Dragon Ball Super dev team hits. Like at one point, Gohan was dominating the meta. There was only really one deck that could cleanly see it with the hands, and the other decks were just like vying for other top spaces. And Bandai's gonna see that, and they're gonna tunnel vision. They're gonna hit it. They're gonna hit it generally hard, and then on top of that, probably the most infuriating part is they're not going to pay attention to the other cards that this deck was gatekeeping. So they don't hedge trim around it. Like that's one of the most important parts about a ban list. If you hit the top dog, you also need to look at the domino effect and make sure that nothing else is going to become ignorant because of the top dog not being there. And not only was Gohan no longer the top dog, especially with a new set coming out, but it was just a sloppy hit. Like this hit would have been way more valid mid format
A month ago.
last set. Yeah, not right now.
Yeah.
And that's just the worst part about it.
It's the innocent bystanders too. It's just another that's always happens as well. It's just like these other green decks that need the charismatic to answer certain things in the format.
That limit was crazy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Don't
limit.
get me started about charismatic.
Yeah. I guess that's a good segue if you want to do that. But I guess I was just kind of combining the two with the green because they're both used in that deck.
Don't make me cry.
I hate that card, bro. I hate it. I have hated it from the inception of the card. It's just like
just kill the
one
instant.
of these, which one of these cards is not like the other? I don't know. The one that ignores deflect, the one that literally just comes down and has a completely different order of operations than any other one in its cycle. I cannot stand Charismatic Frieza. It was just so weird. Like for green being one of these standalone worst colors, it was so weird that for some reason it just had such an exceptionally better. Arguably, Trunks was just pretty dumb, stupid at the time too, but it has such an exceptionally better setup. Like how it is written was mechanically better than the rest of them, and that's just like kind of wild to me.
Mind
Yes,
you, I think Demigra should have been hit instead, though. Like, I think just hit Demigra instead. Now there goes the insane consistency. Because, like, Charismatic was one of the only tools Green has to at least deal with the burn Goku from the U7 deck. Like, it's now, like, Green is like, okay, I'm going to play this deck and hope I see my 1-of so I don't get burned for 5 life because, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but if you isolate
usually
both
3
cards,
life, but yeah.
like Demigra on its own is pretty shit, right? But
Yeah, Demigra
charismatic on its
Frieza
own
combined
is
is
good.
broken.
Yeah,
I gave up
'cause
on
it's
Demigra being hit.
It's good because it's charismatic, not the other way around.
I think Demigra is good simply because it is one of the only unisons in the game that you can play on turn 1 and you don't have to really worry about it going anywhere unless like some specific shenanigans happen. And I think Demigra is much like charismatic. It's written in a different way that offers some innate protection that if it's played on turn 1, like I said, very few things can you actually do to that card. Like, oh, you want to swing with it? You could have 3 attacks. Congratulations, I'm awoken now. Like, there's just a lot of weird interactions with it. And I frankly just gave up on them ever touching Demigra when Demigra was not hit with Green Cooler. Like, it single-handedly made Green Cooler a better deck because it was just a cornerstone that you could start the chains of its unison, like, swapping without any blowback whatsoever.
Like 10 sets ago.
Yeah,
Like,
don't make me
that's
cry.
definitely where I felt like.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Like.
Green Cooler, I love that deck, but that deck sucks, and now it's even worse now. So, that was the one thing I had left was charismatic.
Bystanders.
Yeah, you got caught in the drive-by. But
I mean, that's fair.
I get. You know what? I understand. All these unison free counterplays are basically gone. Yamcha, you got 1-of. Frieza, you got 1-of. Trunks, that one's in hell. It deserves to be in hell. Yamcha was the one that kind of got hit. Where like, I honestly think Frieza deserved it more than Yamcha for the most part. But the
Yamcha would have been nasty last set though.
It's true.
With the not set last 4. I mean last year with like SS4.
Mm-hmm. That
Yamcha would have been too. I think it would have been way too much, bro.
That is true.
That's me playing SS4. I wish I had more Yamchas. Like I'd run that 4 easily, because that unison was sticking.
That is true, because that unison enabled it to,
Yeah.
Okay, we got markers here. The Yamcha's going to be live every turn now. But
Yeah.
We got a Vegeta unit.
I was going to say the Vegeta, guys. Like, come on. It's the best one. You still got 4 copies of it, guys. Come on. Yellow. Come on. They're going to start using it again, right, guys?
Pass.
Oh, Lord.
Honestly, I don't even really care about the charismatic yet. I just hate that they made it a 1-of. Like, enough with the fucking 1-ofs. I'm so tired of playing around 20 cards a game. Now,
Yeah,
you gotta respect it,
Good
but
point.
it's like, you can only respect it so much, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And it only makes you mad when they have it.
yeah,
I mean,
it's tilts
it's-
for both
it's-
players. It's like, I
yeah.
didn't see my 1-of, or they saw it and I lost because of it.
So I'm going to be a little contradictory on that one. Like, after playing so many different card games, I've realized that Dragon Ball Super has one of the highest rates of just cards acquired per game. Like, it's wild because,
for sure.
yes, a 1-of sucks, and it does feel super salty when your opponent sees the 1-of and claps you for game. But we see 1-ofs like certain other card games see 3-ofs. And and it's still like, I think it's more of a mentality thing. We know it's at 1, so we're super salty that it was seen. But competitively, you still have to respect, like you said, you have to respect that out. You have to respect they might have it. But you go and play certain other card games, and it's just like they could have 3 copies in their deck because it's not a 4 of, but you definitely want to see it more than once. And you might only see it once per game, and you have to be like, well, okay, like it happened. But I definitely just feel like because of what we're used to seeing and how many cards are seen, we get a little bit of more spoiled when it comes to like how those ratios work in our head. Like it's always a respectable card. It always could be in their hand, but it's just I feel like it's part of the game. Yeah, it feels lucky, but in all honesty, all card games are lucky. Sometimes you see all the cards you sided in. Sometimes you only see it once, and your opponent just gets to do whatever they want. It's all probability. It's just this is one that we know was at 1. We hated the card when it was at 4, and now we hate seeing it more because it's only at 1.
That's a
It
fair point.
depends on the card. It depends on the card.
The thing is too, right? Just from one ofs, everyone runs a secret rare in their deck. How often do you see
Man.
a secret rare, right? 85%
saying,
of
like,
matches, 90%.
Natural one ofs.
Like it's a card that is fixed to one of because they're all the ones that are still used are busted. They're one ofs for a reason. Like when you don't see your secret rare, it's more of like a oh shit that didn't happen rather than like oh I lucked out for finally seeing my secret rare. This one of in my deck. Like we see them pretty consistently if the deck's built correctly. But so that is another
15
thing
turns
too.
and I didn't see Gohan Piccolo. You're a sack. You are a luck sack. Like, bro.
You'd be
Yeah.
surprised. You'd be surprised how often that happens.
Oh no, I know how much happened. I'm just saying, like, that's how like mentality is with a lot of these players. Like, I didn't see my secret rare. Man, you would have gotten smoked had I seen that one of. And that's like a valid statement because like you would have lost if that one of came up, and we expect to see that one of if we go through 3/4 of our deck.
We're playing a card game, right? There's always variance. Like
Always.
I think it's worse when one ofs are like responsive cards or reactive cards, because then you have to play
Game-stopping
around
cards.
it, right? When you got a one of Boo, if they drop it, then they drop it. You can't play around Boo, preemptively speaking. If they play it, then okay, now you know they have it. But when you're talking about charismatic, cold bloodlust, you're playing around those cards, and you're just playing around the probability of oh, do they have a one of? It's a bit different, and that's where the tilt comes in. Because how do you play around a one of?
That is
You
true.
definitely have to try to your best to bait it. I mean, there are going to be a lot of situations where if both players have optimal hands and both players are around the same skill level, it will be impossible to force your opponent to suboptimally play a one of. But once they do play the one of, it's gone. There's like a lot that goes into that in general because before you might cold bloodlust 6 out of 10 play simply because you know there are 3 more in the deck versus seeing that 6 out of 10 hit the ground and go, ooh, can I get around this? Like because you don't want to use your 1 bloodlust to have somebody just blow you out a following turn.
Yep.
But I like it's so many layers. But one ofs feel sloppy. I used to hate one ofs a lot more. Now I'm not quite sure how I feel about them, and I kind of go back and forth. It's just I think there's just a lot to look at on the balance side. If a card can go down to 1, it probably shouldn't have been made in the first place.
Yep.
It's just that the fact that we have
play.
SCRs make it weird.
But yeah, I just think reactive cards shouldn't be one ofs. Something like Ultimate Duo, if they play it, there's nothing to play around. Right? Like it's either they have it or they don't. Whereas with a reactive card like Charismatic, you have to play around it or you don't. But it's just different because then if you don't play around it and they counterplay you, then you just get severely punished. That's just my opinion on it. But
so hearing you out, would you rather? Are you saying it should be at 4? Or should be
it
at
should
0?
just be banned. Banned.
There we go. Okay, I feel that
Yeah,
because I'm like, that's the part I was missing from listening to you because I was like,
No,
I'm kind of
if it's
confused
at
on that
4,
one.
then you respect it and you play around it. But you can't respect one ofs. Like it's just
Especially in a
stupid
color
to
like
respect
yellow.
one ofs.
There's like 6 1-ofs in yellow, so good luck.
Yeah, like are you gonna respect a bunch of SCRs? Like chances are they don't have it. But if
But if
they
they do
do,
have
then
it, not
it's
much you can do about
tilting.
it.
Yeah, it's just tilting. It's stupid.
Oh, there's that one up. Oh, there's the other one. Oh, there's this one. Oh, there's that
Literal
one.
definition of skill
Yeah.
issue.
It is funny that it's
Like-
yellow. Yellow does have a bunch of
Oh, POS says Bergamo, Saiyan Duo.
Yeah.
Give me then Seeker Rare.
Alas, like
Yeah. No, that is a
too
fair
much.
point. Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna see how that works. I know, yeah, Saiyan Duo, like how you're saying there, yeah, it definitely makes more sense because you're just playing the card and it's not something that you have to like watch over. It's like, okay, shit, that card's gone now. Whatever card that it popped or whatever there, and it's not something you're like, can I play that like Beast Gohan, right? No deflect. My opponent's could have their one cold bloodlust, and I'm screwed. Or
Exactly.
they don't. And it's just like you shut off me playing the secret because I do not know. Like, is this worth
Exactly.
it, right?
Yeah.
So that
But
The
does make
threat of
if
it
you're
is better than the actual
Just
card.
play
Yeah.
Raditz. There you go.
yeah, but if you're
Yeah,
playing
true,
something
that's
like
true. We all play Raditz, so then we don't have to worry. One ofs, we get to
Yeah,
see all
there
of
you
them.
go.
you know, if you're
Yes.
playing something like Yellow Sin, just a random example, and you play your 9-drop, it's not like, oh, do I have to play around Ultimate Duo? It's not necessarily you're playing around it, it's just if they have it, cool. But it doesn't change your play
Super cool.
just because it negates the skills. Same with like 6-drop Gotenks. Like, does it change the play of playing it? No. Just
Right. It makes me sad. Is all. Yeah.
On the other hand,
But not
thank
mad.
God they
Not
loaded
mad.
that stupid Saint Duo card. That card can rot in hell.
Look,
That wasn't
card
good.
should have also been banned.
This is coming from a Zamasu fan over
Yeah.
here, so yeah, they can rot in hell.
And also, a lot of those cards just feel underwhelming at 1. Like, I know
Yeah.
Power of a Super Saiyan's like an auto include in like every yellow deck, but it's
Mm-hmm.
so mid at 1, which
Mm-hmm.
is just
So
kind
many
of
times
funny.
I've used it as a draw one these days. Like
Yeah.
It's just a
I don't
cycle.
remember the last time I rested a card. I've literally always used it as a hard negator. Just I'm gonna draw one more card.
Yeah.
It's been months
Usually
since I've
one of my
rested it.
first to cut when it's getting tight, right? Because it's just like, well, if I want to draw a card, why would I not just put the card in that I want to draw? You know.
well, I
Exactly.
mean, when it comes to cards that they put down in 1, there's like 2 clear categories: cards that are far too powerful to be at multiple copies, or cards that are too good in sequence to be had at multiple copies. A singular Power of a Super Saiyan isn't bad. Having access to
Exactly.
Power
Yeah.
of a Super Saiyan back to back to back can potentially make a landslide of advantage and momentum that can't be like easily outplayed. So I mean, Power of the Super Saiyan is clearly that sequential advantage, whereas something like Charismatic is just like you're afraid to play cards if they have a unison. So
Exactly.
like it's kind of it's weird. I mean, Dragon Ball has never been the best at balancing its cards effectively on the fly. So this is just kind of, I feel bad. I feel a little disillusioned and jaded because when I see stuff like this, I'm just like, all right, more of the same. Like another day as a Dragon Ball player.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just
I don't
stinks
know.
when
I
it's your
mean,
card. You know,
yeah.
that time around.
Suck screen players.
Well,
Look,
there is more impact to it though. Like the the limit on charismatic also makes it so I know this card isn't being played much right now, but it also makes it so the green Zamasu SR, the one from the draft box, was it Deity's Wrath or other. Now it's
Mhm.
completely inconsistent because now how do you get it out? It was before it was always
Bro,
charismatic and Kaioken.
man, that card's trash. Kaioken's actually a better card to play.
Bro, we know. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying like now that option is gone.
Don't
Because
worry,
now like
Ultimate Duo's at 1, so can't kill it.
Yeah, just negate it with all your extra cards instead.
Or
Yeah.
just minus
Just
it.
negate it with Final
Or
Flash.
just reduce its power.
Whoop de doo.
At
I'm
least
just
spend
saying,
2
like-
energy to kill something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's bad. I
The
disagree.
main thing though,
If it's not
having
one, I don't
cards
want
like
it.
it's also kind of weird though, like having cards like Charismatic Bloodlust, all these powerful like reactive cards. The funniest part that going down to 1 also does for it is before you could be charismatic and then you realize that for the rest of the turn you might have a little leeway, but following the next turn you have to worry about it again. Now,
Yep.
like it's like when Bloodlust did go down at that one point. The moment you got Bloodlusted, you knew you were never getting Bloodlusted for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And it completely changes the dynamic of how risky you are to play, to tap out, to overextend. And that's also kind of a weird thing. Like I've seen that even way back in Yu-Gi-Oh! Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning. It's like the moment that gets popped, you're like, cool, guess what's never happening again? This is coming out. This is coming out too. And it just kind of makes like this weird, it adds another layer of
bluff.
mind games that's sometimes annoying.
Yep.
Mhm.
I think it
Hey.
can be skillful at sometimes, but it's also annoying.
No, you're right. Like you try to bluff it out and like, oh, I'm playing whatever. Do you want to respond? Like you try to bait it out, but now it's a one of, right? So.
And then your opponent may just sit there not actually making the play that could have pushed them the game or given them the correct board state because they're like, yeah, look at that unison with 5 markers on it. It'd be a shame if I were to play this card with no barrier and get smoked right here. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, I think it just should have gotten banned. But the weird part about it is with their silly, well, I'm not silly, production schedules or production schedules. With things already in the pipeline for about a year, put on press about 5 months, 4 months out minimum, it's really hard to like, I wish we could just be like, oh, Charismatic got banned, so we're going to see a replacement come out in the next set. But his chances are whatever is about to be printed out next is already in boxes. We'd have to wait 2 sets or so, like minimum 2 sets.
Technically
with print lines.
Technically
like
exists. Decisions made.
Like I wish
Yeah, it is actually decisions made. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's true. They did actually print the replacement.
It's terrible. Nobody counters with it, but hey, it exists.
He said it's terrible.
No one's tapping
it's
on
cheeks.
to that. Yeah, because free versus 1 energy is such a big difference.
With stipulation as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck though. Blowing the Android 16 at Nats, that's gonna suck.
Yep.
It
Man, I
really
don't give
hurts
2
me.
shits.
Stop. It really hurts me badly that this game was built upon resource management and then it just eventually transitioned to, okay, well, that's free. And this is free too. And this is free. And that's a 9-drop. A 9-drop? Yeah, but you play it for 2, so don't worry about it, bro. We gonna be okay.
Though? Green Gohan players take themselves down to 4 life for me. Just be like, yeah, I don't have to swing a. You're gonna put yourself to 4 anyways. Now we'll start doing damage. I'm gonna miss that. Now I have to deal 6 damage to them instead of 4. Sad times.
Big sad. Big sad. I don't know. I also have to point out that for like the umpteenth time, I understand. I've gotten to like big arguments about this one, and for anybody that loves this sort of thing, more power to you. But I hate that Bandai keeps putting entire sets right before the biggest tournament of the year. Like I get not wanting a stale format, but this is nationals. People want to practice. People want to show off their skill. This should not be part meta discovery. This should be deck building, practice, and like proven tactics. So I keep hating how they just keep deciding, like, you know what? Yeah. A month before Nats, how would you like 200 new cards introduced to the format? Like, wait, but what? And by the way, no events.
Right now.
I mean, right now it's like 2 months at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
it's end of January.
Like, previous Nats, you're talking like the same week.
Yeah,
like,
that was horrible.
It has been rough for sure.
Last 2 years.
People, like, here's your biggest tournament.
Sand Showdown at Nationals.
Yeah, they have vendors there. It's just a push product, right? It's like,
ain't no way.
Sets released the same week. You gotta buy it.
I wish they had more regionals though, because they could have easily squeezed in a few more regionals. Like, I also feel bad for like the other regions too. Like Asia already finished their Nats. Bang was like, all right, I'm winning with Mexico, great. Europe is gonna go into their Nats and they're gonna
the week of release.
The week of a release. It's like this, like the stuff that happened like 2 years ago with Saint Showdown, and now that's happening in Europe, and that's like the only like
and Australia too, I think.
But the problem is that's the only Nats level event that we can use to gain data. There's no other regionals unless you want to count Latin America. What other region are you actually going to get data from to see what actually works and what doesn't work in a competitive sense? There's no other regionals.
You don't talk about Latin. You don't talk about Latin. Some dude's gonna win with Gogeta Zeno. Some dude will win Latinum Nats with Gogeta Zeno. I don't want to talk about Latinum Nats.
Then that's what I'm saying, right? So it's like all you have is Europe to go off of, but they're only gonna have the one weekend. So like, there's people, there's us who like practice an untap or proxy cards.
But I like that though.
Ahead of time.
Yeah,
but the thing is like we're not having data.
People testing. Yeah,
exactly. It's basically. Exactly. It's basically the results of your internal testing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I do.
Like, think of it like this, right? Like last year with Crimson, if we had regionals because even with regionals, I don't think people are going to play the decks they want to play for Nats.
And if
Obviously.
one person did it,
Correct.
it would.
You want to really keep
did
Yeah.
well. It would have spoiled the
Because
whole
once you saw what happened with Crimson at Nats, what did you see top every single regional and event afterwards? Crimson wins, Crimson wins. Like, people are just gonna net deck at that point. So
100%.
Until Nats had, or until Worlds had 2 brain cell activation and everybody played counter Crimson, and America just had the most embarrassing showcase of their lives by coming in with the biggest targeted deck ever. I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way we talked all this mess and then got swept up because we decided to come in with the one deck that everybody counter built. I will say, so this is the part where like I've had like a mad hiatus from playing card games, traveling to all these events, and I've been working a lot more with TOs, doing some stuff, like doing some stuff with Bandai. I am kind of like torn because before I would be like, if your testing isn't strong enough, you deserve to get mopped up for not testing the new set. But now I'm kind of at a place where people don't pay for untap. They pay for the cards. They pay to have the cards in their hand. They pay to be able to play with these physical cards. Untap isn't even an official form of playing the game. It's a third party client. And while I do believe in the strength of internal testing, I do believe that if you want to win the most prestigious event of your nation, you need to be in the lab consistently. I also do kind of feel like it's wild that to play and win the biggest tournament in your nation, you have to be playing before the game actually gives you access to the cards that they are making legal at this event.
Yeah.
That part is the part that kind of from a consumer standpoint, I'm like, that's BS. From a tester and a competitive player, I'm like, bro, look, sorry, dog. While you were sitting there waiting for spoilers to come out, we were out here testing decks as they were being mapped. But like, I do understand both sides of that.
I mean, just make an online client, right?
I mean, you would think
Fusion Worlds for you.
Look, yeah, I mean, look, no, Fusion World, I cannot begin to stop laughing at. Wow, bro, are you seeing this code? Yeah. Did you know that when I play a card, I open up 18 windows of interaction between these 4 cards? Bro, I'm not coding that. What if we just got rid of counterplays? Yep. Oh yeah, buddy. You got it.
Counterattacks. Counter that word. We don't want to hear that word.
They said, yeah, bro. Look. I mean, it's hard. It's if you guys ever played those old Yu-Gi-Oh games where you could hold down R and it would ask you every time somebody played a card if you had a response. That is literally what Dragon Ball is, and I can only imagine how much like their updates would be. I'm sure their dev team isn't that big, to be completely real, and I can only imagine what they would have to do per set. Like, bro, cards are coming out with broken English. I can't imagine how they update an online client set to set with how complex our game is.
It's a shame. Though.
It is a shame. It definitely is a shame. But I also see, like, it feels like the bait and switch, but I can see why they tried to simplify it and then release an online client. The only thing I'll say about that is we saw how Dragon Ball Super started and where it was by set 10. With all that knowledge under their belt, I kind of just don't believe that this new game won't be well on its way by set 4 or 5. Like,
they have combo phase. They have activate battles. That's it. It's already going to do. I guarantee they'll just print cards that'll say when your opponent attacks, negate the attack. Like they'll print some weird shit. Like, they'll do it.
Activate battles that act as block. Like there's going to be some weird stuff, but I'm sure it's going to creep. The leaders draw 1 card when they swing. They still expect you to be drawing that many cards for combo purposes. Like we're going to see some interesting things. But yeah, an online client would be good. There's got to be some sort of balance. I do understand what you're saying about not having a regional in between because, like, at best, people just play the decks that they want to play while hiding their secret decks. At worst, you have a whole bunch of net decking and there's no surprise factors. I just wish there was, even if it was just a month with the cards in our hands. I just don't agree with them releasing things. Like, this is going to be fine. I like where this set is dropping in relation to Nats.
For us, it's fine.
It might be a little long. It might be a tiny bit long by like a week or 2, but I think this is a perfect amount of time for us to prepare with the new set for the biggest tournament we'll have our year.
Oh yeah, we got plenty.
I think it's a good
we got
time.
almost 2 months.
That's a solid amount of
December
time.
1st.
And then the leaks
I like
happened.
Oh, and the leaks
really
happened
good.
too. Like, come on, we had.
No, the leaks that
Yeah, like
Good
if you want to
God.
test, you basically had to set for like 3-4 months ahead of time already.
Yeah, we've been eating good.
I'm so sorry, but like the shout outs to everybody that does their job. I don't want to put anybody under the bus. If you're listening to this on the off chance that you're listening to this video, please, I'm not trying to spit any hate, but there's a difference between uploading a single card or 3 cards wrong on a Facebook page and just being like, so
Take everything.
bad news bears. we put up an entire set under a completely different product in our app that's already crappy to you. Well, bro, like how? Like I'm firing that dude immediately. I just like, get the hell out of my office. Like you had
Only that
one
was
job.
a happy mistake. I don't think
It
so.
was a happy mistake, but that's just I don't even know how that works, bro. Like
Nah,
that
someone
just
leaked
seems
it.
so outlandish.
That was intentional.
Had to have been.
Paid
He
actors.
said this God rare is fuego. This got to drop
Got her and
today.
everything too. That was crazy.
But it was everything possible.
I'm
The
not
thing said
complaining about it.
premium anniversary box. There's no way you looked at these cards that had nothing to do with the anniversary box and said, yeah, this is pretty right. Anniversary box got 200 cards in it. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
is that where it was leaked onto?
Yes, it was on TCG Plus as the premium anniversary box, and the whole set was put up there.
Oh, perfect.
Just a,
I
just
got
a
a refund.
blunder,
I didn't
dude.
get that shit in my box.
I was very happy.
Yeah, it definitely made things easier for us. Less
I mean, yeah,
speculation.
it was. You can basically call it an early release.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the pre-release.
Early.
The pre-release.
They took
Yeah, the
our
pre-
pre-release now, so I guess pre-release was like a month ago.
I mean, look, you're right. I also, on top of these things actually having there's always a minus and a plus. Like, yes, we have good time to test. That's wonderful. Why are Bandai? How come all Bandai's? Oh my, I'm sorry. It just feels like they're punishing their players for playing multiple of their games. You can't successfully buy all your cards unless you make like fat stacks. There are 3 games dropping sets within 3 weeks of each other.
But
And
it's
it's
like
just
One
like,
Piece and DBS is annoying, man. It's like
That's the issue with
Dog.
they drop
Bandai. They
sets in
compete
the
with
same
themselves.
week.
Yeah,
Like, the same week,
bro.
bro. Like, you know how annoying it is. You have to pick
they're
one.
already
do.
competing.
You don't make
I had to
enough
choose.
money to buy like a One Piece case and a DBS case. Like, hell no, I gotta pick one.
I feel like you have to choose, and unfortunately,
I already know where you're going.
with whatever look, with whatever proceeds I make from this case of OPO5, I will be able to buy whatever I want from Dragon Ball's next set.
Yeah,
Like, let's not be real.
exactly. Let's keep it a
Let
buck.
me flip this OPO5 box and start buying my SPRs for $5. I'm gonna be okay.
That's $5.
We gonna
You
eat.
get
That's
SPRs for like,
generous.
you can get
That's generous.
SPRs for like $2, bro.
Bro, I was
Not even
like, I'm a
$5.
pessimist, okay? I'm a pessimist. I was trying to
I'm
worst
still
case
getting a
scenario.
DBS case, but you
Right,
know.
because I open a box of DBS, I pull an SPR, and it's worth like a Tim Hortons coffee. Like it's.
I think there'll
deal.
be some better chase cards this time, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
of
I
course.
think the U7 stuff will be very expensive, to be honest.
Well, I hope not.
It's
I wanna buy 'em.
it's gonna have first week hype. First week hype is gonna be real for the U7 deck. There are probably gonna be some
for
other
sure.
hits. And of course, a God rare is automatically good. A God rare that's UI Goku, like now we're in One Piece Altar territory. This card is going
Yeah,
like
it's
manga
gonna
rare
be-
prices.
I agree. I think it's gonna be the most hyped card for in Dragon Ball since like that Victory Strike stuff.
Yeah,
This
buddy.
is the
I
last
like
one.
actually imagine opening up Dragon Ball Super cards and they're actually worth money. Glorious.
Oh, yeah.
Glorious.
It's been years.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Nickelback says.
Well,
Oh.
was there any other card we missed bringing it back? Because I'm about to fall asleep. I'm literally looking here. I'm like,
Anything else
I joined
matters?
late, so I didn't even know what the topic was.
Just
we
errata
were
to
just
make
talking
the
about
exact same
how they
thing, I
took
think.
out Omni Man's ass in
Oh, and I
Fortnite.
guess they did do the errata to make
Okay.
explosive dance work. I mean, it's the most broken red floodgate in the game. Let's just be real here.
Red bar.
It's
baby.
gonna be every deck that
Gohan
isn't.
TP.
Laughs in U7.
What TP?
The Gohan TP. Where's the errata for that?
To
Which
take out
Gohan
Unique.
TP?
Or not the Gohan. Sorry,
Are you talking about
the
Frieza?
Frieza TP. The
There's no
Frieza,
errata
the
coming.
Gohan deck.
Oh,
There's
we'll
no
worry about the
errata.
freeze the dual attacker later.
Oh, the
man. Don't worry
Gohan
about
Free
TP. I meant
U7
Frieza.
Gohan.
Yeah.
There's nothing
There's-
wrong with free play, all right?
There's
Never-
nothing
never
wrong with
backfires.
dual attack.
There's-
Just an
Don't get me
overrun
started
for
on
that deck. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they made it so. Yeah, those who weren't sure, explosive dance now works. They errata the text. Hallelujah. Red has a fantastic floodgate. If you're not facing yellow U7, you just beat everything else. So Hooray!
Beautiful.
Profile picture holding a trophy while
Can't wait to
sleeping
play that in Balma.
is the guy that successfully maintained my record of being the only person to ever win a regional with U7 Gohan. So I have to thank you for that. No hate to Dane, but I was. It was like when Thor was about to move the hammer, or Captain America was about to move the hammer, and Thor was like I thought I was about to get dethroned with my only real accomplishment in that game. That's the only time I made it matters.
Jank, bro.
Oh, first off, wait, don't be that cutting. That's my pet deck. All right, that's my pet deck. I am thanking you for protecting my title, and until Dane got to that point against you, I thought it was impossible. I was like, I will be able to die knowing that I'm the only regional winner with this deck because it will never happen again.
All right, you know what? I'll play Gohan every regional next.
Stop it!
year.
Why would you do that, Veer? Why would you do that? Let me just.
We've
let
actually
me
all
live,
been
dude.
on Gohan this last
Just
month.
gonna bring it to
testing,
Nats.
Someone should just
Just
play
bring it
Green
to Nats.
Gohan now, like the starter deck
Green
one.
Gohan.
See, now that'd be
Ah, yeah,
crazy.
Ew.
Yeah,
Somebody gave that to me
ew.
for free. Shout out if you're listening. But somebody gave that to me for free, and they were like, "I know you love Gohan, bro," and I was like,
It's like
"Thanks."
wrong fucking Gohan, man.
I read the card. I was like, yeah, thanks, bro.
You get a 1-mana 20k that draws 2. That's pretty good. Anyway,
I got fodder for fire in case my electricity goes out. That's what I got.
Beer. Let's hear that outro before I
Double strike crit.
fall into this deck.
Double
Hey, double
strike
strike crit.
Now I can't-
You know, we got this band
Player
list. I
anthem
didn't
in
get a
the
Super
back.
Players music video for this band list. I'm pissed. Someone phone that in. I need more rap videos.
I'm sure I'll get right on that.
Please, thank you.
Like 5 years from now.
Thank you. I can wait.
Thank you all for
Masterpieces
watching.
take time.
Yeah, no. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Honestly, thank you all. This new set is honestly going to be really fun. Every deck's really fun to play at the end of the day. Competitive speaking is competitive speaking, but it's a very, very fun set. It's super exciting. Shout out to our sponsor, Game 3, of course. Shout out to to all of you, of course. And then, of course, make sure to check out Kaioken Cards. Make sure to check out UniX TCG. Check out the Pac-Man special. Sorry, Pac-Man special. I'm tired.
Pax-Man, it's okay.
Please don't kill
Pax
me.
West.
No, kill me. Don't kill me. No. And then of course Hoffman's Labs, and I guess you can check out my stream. But whatever, who cares about that one? But yeah, otherwise, you know what they say. Stay super. I think.
Hey, stupid. Hold up.
It's stay
Okay,
super.
You gotta come on. You
Like
gotta. If you're gonna say it every time, you gotta put your heart into it.
Bro, I had
You
an
want
uplifting
my heart
message
into
to
it?
the Dragon Ball
put your heart
community.
into it.
Stay super.
Stay
Wow.
super.
Perfect.